to the masses out there in YouTube land. We're trending. I don't know where. I think it's Zanzibar, but it's all fine. All right. So for context, I've been saying for each one, these game boards are from 2018. So sometimes Jeopardy gets very specific about a date and time or anything like that. These are from 2018. I'll switch to a different year for your next match. So I'll jump around in that regard. But just to give you context, sometimes there's time context that matters. Mike, quick buzzer check. Thank you, sir. All right, we are set to go. 4 categories of Jeopardy, 2 pub trivia, 4 categories of Jeopardy, pub trivia. Illusions for 1 point. Illusions. ALLUSIONS. Illusions. A barbarous, ignorant error between the Roman Empire and medieval times, or any unsophisticated period. A barbarous, ignorant error between the Roman Empire and medieval times, or any unsophisticated period. 5, 4. Mike?
The Dark Age?
That is correct for 1 point. Illusions for 2 points. Any very busy place, or this specific transport center at Park Avenue and 42nd Street. A very big... Rochelle?
What is Grand Central?
That is correct for 2 points. And a reminder, Mike, you just joined. If you answer 2 questions in 1 round, you are great. I appreciate the thumbs up. We move on. 3 points. Illusions. Meaning a large amount of people used on a project. It comes from promos for a movie that boasted 125,000 extras. Meaning a large amount of people used on a project. It comes from promos for a movie that boasted 125,000 extras. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Had no idea this is where it came from before reading this. A cast of thousands. A cast of thousands. I can pretend I knew it, but I did not. All right, 4 points. Courtesy, can't say courtesy. Courtesy of Cervantes. To battle imaginary injustices is to tilt at these. Rochelle.
Windmills.
Windmills is correct. You are now out of this category. 10 points. Sorry, 5 points. Not 10 points. Not yet. Okay. For 5 points, we go to phrase for a deadly array. Poised for action. Also a prison term applied to the lineup of the 1927 Yankees. Lee.
Murderer's Row.
Murderer's Row is correct for 5 points. Way back in the 60s, man. Way back in the 60s, man. For 1 point. The name of this artistic dynasty that began in 1368 means bright in Chinese. The name of this artistic dynasty that began in 1368 means bright in Chinese. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What is Ming? The Ming Dynasty. Way back in the 60s, man. This anti-discriminatory act of 1964 finally passed after a more than 2-month filibuster in the Senate. This anti-discriminatory act of 1964 finally passed after a more than 2-month filibuster in the Senate. Lee. I know you can unmute. You just did it. You just did it. I have faith in you.
Did I unmute?
Yes.
Is it the Civil Rights Act?
It is, in fact, the Civil Rights Act.
Sorry about the delay.
And a quick Zoom hint: if you hold down your space bar while you're muted, you temporarily unmute.
True story. Thank you, Tom.
Like a walkie-talkie.
I got my kids' walkie-talkies and paired them with the neighborhood kids. It was such a poor decision. It was like I showed them how wavelengths were constant. Like, are you there? Are you there? No, they're not there. 10 o'clock at night. All right. On February 22nd, 1862, Washington's birthday, no less, he delivered an inaugural address in Richmond. On February 20, Russell.
Jefferson Davis.
That is correct for 3 points. On September 29th, 1662, he wrote in his diary, quote, "Saw Midsummer Night's Dream. It is the most insipid, ridiculous play." On September 29th, 1662, he wrote in his diary, quote, "Saw Midsummer Night's Dream. It is the most insipid, ridiculous play." 5, 4, 3, 2. Lee.
Christopher Marlowe.
That is incorrect, minus 4 points. So it goes over to Infinite Huddle. You can come off mute and discuss. On September 29th, 1662, he wrote in his diary, quote, saw Midsummer Night's Dream. It is the most insipid, ridiculous play.
All right. Any of us know 17th century English playwrights?
I don't.
We're going to pass on this one, I think.
Okay. I have never heard this name before. It is a member of parliament, Samuel Pepys, P-E-P-Y-S. But he kept the diary. Good for him. All right. Way back in the 60s, man, for 5 points. Kidnapping boy king Francis II was the goal of 1560s conspiracy of Ambrose by this French Protestant group. Kidnapping boy king Francis II was the goal of 1560s conspiracy of Amboise, A-M-B-O-I-S-E, by this French Protestant group. Rochelle.
The Huguenots?
That is correct for 5 points. A little mistake is the next category. A little mistake. For 1 point. An owie or double talk for a little mistake. An owie or double talk for a little mistake. Mike.
A boo-boo?
A boo-boo is correct. Also, Scooby-Doo's. Good. No, I'm sorry, Yogi Bear's good friend, right? Yogi Bear? Why do you say boo-boo? It's really hot down here. I might be going a little crazy. 2 points, a little mistake. 4-letter result of hitting the Q on the keyboard instead of the W. 4-letter result of hitting the Q on the keyboard instead of the W. Mike.
Typo?
Typo is correct. Typo is correct. Mike, you have now answered 2. You're out of this category. It is currently 15-4, quarantined on top of Infinite Huddle. For 3 points. It rhymes with hitch and once meant a hitch caused by a small spike in voltage. Rochelle.
Glitch?
A glitch is correct for 3 points. For 4 points, you may have one quote of judgment. It can also mean the passage of a period of time. Lee.
Lapse.
A lapse is correct for 4 points. I used 30 instead of 29.87 in my calculations, leading to this kind of minor error. I used 30 instead of 29.87 in my calculations. Rochelle?
A rounding error?
A rounding error is correct for 5 points. All right, our last Jeopardy category here in the first round is making a federal case out of it. Making a federal case out of it. All right, here we go. For 1 point, an oath taker in a federal court who, quote, states any material matter which he does not believe to be true has committed this. An oath taker in a federal court who, quote, Rochelle?
Perjury.
Perjury. That is correct. Making a federal case out of it for 2 points. You promised the senator a consulting gig in exchange for his vote. You're looking at 15 years for this, pal. David.
Quid pro quo.
That's incorrect for this question. Pass it over to Quaranteamed. I'll read it one more time. You promised the senator a consulting gig in exchange for his vote. You're looking at 15 years for this, pal.
We can discuss, right, Tim?
Yes.
Yep. Russell, what do you think? You're good at this stuff. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Is it bribery? Right? Somebody's offering somebody money for a vote.
That sounds, yeah, right?
And it's only a 2-point question, so it can't be that hard. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I was
go
able
for
to get it.
Yeah.
Final answer, passing.
We're going to go with bribery.
Final answer, bribery is correct. Bribery is correct. Specific could be a kind of quid pro quo, I suspect, but is in fact bribery. All right, making a federal case out of it. Someone who blows up an arsenal in wartime can get 30 years for this, from French for shoe. Someone who blows up an arsenal in wartime can get 30 years for this, from French for shoe. S-H-O-E. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Any Beastie Boy fans out there listening, all y'all to Sabotage? Sabotage. 4 points. The sentence for attempted kidnapping of the director of this agency created in 1947 is any term of years or for life. The sentence for attempted kidnapping of the director of this agency created in 1947 is any term of years or for life. 5, 4, 3, 2. Mike?
CIA?
CIA is correct. 5 points. 18 USC 96 defines this gangster activity as, quote, any act of threat involving murder, gambling, extortion, etc. Sam?
Racketeering.
Racketeering is correct. Well done for 5 points. All right, we go to pub trivia. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. All right. Again, so you can answer 2 questions in the first 5, and then we'll do that again for the second 5. And here we go. The 2000 film, The Legend of Bagger Vance, is a retelling of what religion's ancient scripture? The 2000 film, The Legend of Bagger Vance, is a retelling of what religion's ancient scripture? Russell?
Hinduism?
That is correct for 3 points. Well done. For 3 points, our second question in the first category, what U.S. state's name is believed to derive from a mythical paradise described in a 1510 Spanish novel? What U.S. state's name is believed to derive from a mythical paradise described in a 1510 Spanish novel? 5, 4, 3, 2. Mo? I guess the space bar didn't work.
Yeah, didn't work. Florida.
Florida is incorrect, minus 3 points. You can't make the shots you don't take, so we'll get back to you again, Mo, later on. Rochelle, you want to consult? Shall I read it one more time for you?
I'm thinking El Dorado, Colorado. Is that too much of a stretch?
Russell's saying something, but we can't hear him.
I was thinking California, but yours sounds right, but I have no idea.
I have no idea. Rochelle, use your gut.
How much is it worth?
3 points.
Colorado.
Colorado is incorrect, minus 3 points. The correct answer was California. There you have it. Good job, Russell. Go back on mute when you're ready. Keith Ellison, the first Muslim elected to the U.S. Congress, was sworn in on a Quran once owned by what president? Keith Ellison, the first Muslim elected to the U.S. Congress, was sworn in on a Quran once owned by what president? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was owned by Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson. All right, 2 more in this first category. When President Garfield was shot in 1881, who invented a type of metal detector to try to find the bullet? When President Garfield was first shot in 1881, who invented a type of metal detector to try to find the bullet? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alexander Graham Bell. Alexander Graham Bell. Last one in this. In 1773, the Boston Tea Party was staged by angry colonists disguised as members of what Native American tribe? In 1773, the Boston Tea Party was staged by angry colonists disguised as members of what Native American tribe? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Mohawk. The Mohawk.
You're hard, Dan.
I'm pulling from pub trivia. It's general knowledge. We're making it work. The next set are a little easier.
In Oxford, England or something.
All right. All right, let's go. This is a fun set here, so this should lighten things up a little bit. All right. On a memorable 2011 Jersey Shore episode, which cast member inexplicably slammed his head into a concrete wall? David.
Mike, the Situation.
That is correct for 3 points. With the instruction, quote, guard this object carefully, in 1888, Vincent van Gogh sliced off a portion of his ear and gave it to whom? With the instruction, guard this object carefully, in 1888, Vincent van Gogh sliced off a portion of his ear and gave it to whom? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A prostitute. He gave it to a prostitute. In 1935, the first character licensed lunchbox came out, featuring which animated character? In 1930, Claudia.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say Snoopy, but that's not 1935. That's
Snoopy would be incorrect. So that would be minus 3
and
points.
I have another answer.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We head over to Infinite Huddle, who can discuss. I'll read it one more time. In 1935, the first character licensed lunchbox came out, featuring which animated character?
I was thinking Mickey Mouse. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's the first Mickey Mouse strip came out within a couple of years of that. Like before, for sure.
We pass, play. What's the final answer?
I think we go for it. We're down by a lot. We might as well.
Mickey Mouse.
We're going with Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, final answer. That is correct for 3 points. 2 more. Among his foes, what is considered Harry Potter's signature move? Among his foes, what is considered Harry Potter's signature move? Lee.
Expelliarmus.
That is correct for 3 points. Well done. And this final one in pub trivia. In the classic poem, Casey at the Bat, what is the final score? In the classic poem, Casey at the Bat, what is the final score? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4-2. 4-2 is the final score. I know you're all excited to get back to pub trivia in a little while. We will go back to the Jeopardy board now. And we go to Double Jeopardy. 4 categories here. And we will start with 15 minutes of fame. 15 minutes of fame for 2 points. The 2017 movie about this title skater brought some limelight back to her ex-husband, Jeff. Sam?
Tanya Harding.
That's correct. I really want to say Gillooly, though. So Jeff Gillooly. 4 points, 15 minutes of fame. The Navy SEAL who wrote a book on killing bin Laden also helped rescue a ship's captain from pirates of this nation. The Navy SEAL who wrote a book on killing bin Laden. Lee. I saw you mouth the word correctly.
Somalia.
Thank you. That is good for 4 points. Good diction. You nailed it. 6 points. Red sweatered Ken Bone gained fame in 2016 after asking a question at one of these events. Mike.
Presidential debate.
That is correct for 6 points. Gillooly and Bone. It's a law firm I would never want to go to. 8 points. Brian Cullinan, Cullinan, working for this company on Oscar night in 2017, got his 15 minutes of fame after mixing up envelopes. Brian Cullinan, working for this company on Oscar night in 2017. Rochelle.
Price Waterhouse.
That is correct. When they gave him the wrong envelope. All right, 10 points in 15 minutes of fame. In January 2018, journalist Michael Wolff became the story with his book, Fire and this appropriate word. Mike.
Fury?
Fury is correct for 10 points. 42-32. 3 Jeopardy categories go, and then we have more pub trivia. 4-letter cities. 4-letter U.S. cities, to clarify. Sorry, 4-letter U.S. cities. It's Pennsylvania's 4th largest city, and it's only Lake Port. Russell.
Erie.
That is correct. If you've ever navigated on the Erie Canal, you always know your neighbors. 4-letter U.S. cities. 4 points. There's no place like this city on Seward Peninsula. Population about 3,500. Russell.
Homer.
That is incorrect. 4 points come off the board for Quaranteamed. Infinite Huddle, you are up next. Clue again. There's no place like this city on the Seward Peninsula, population about 3,500?
That's Nome. Final answer.
That is correct. Nome is the final and correct answer. 4-letter U.S. cities, it's 40 to 36, quarantined on top. Renee Zellweger hails from this Texas city that sounds like a girl's first name. Renee Zellweger hails from this Texas city. Rochelle?
I think she's from Katy.
That is correct. Well done. For 6 points. For 8 points, it's home to the Colorado Ski and Snowboard Museum and Hall of Fame. Mike?
Vail.
Vail is correct for 8 points. On Maui, the legendary winding road to this town takes you past waterfalls. Lee?
Hana.
That is correct. Well done. Triple stumper on the show. Poet Puri. Poet Puri. So poet, P-O-E-T dash Puri, P-O-U-R-R-I. Joyce Kilmer's Rouge Bouquet is about the dead of this war that Joyce himself did not survive. Joyce Kilmer's Rouge Bouquet is about the dead of this war that Joyce himself did not survive. Me fail English? That's impossible. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. World War I. World War I. I actually worked in the Joyce Kilmer Barracks at Rutgers for a while. It was named after Mr. Kilmer. From 1993 to 1995, writer and teacher Rita Dove held this position appointed by the Library of Congress. Mike?
Poet laureate.
That is correct for 6 points. All right, I need a surprise substitution here. So I'm going over to alliteration. Alliteration is the category, swapping in another, was a 6-point one. So alliteration for 6 points. Abundant or 10 cents for 12. Abundant or 10 cents for 12. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A dime a dozen. A dime a dozen.
Sorry, sorry to interrupt, but I think I may have accidentally added 6 points to the red team for Mike's last answer instead of 4 points. So I'm just going to make a quick adjustment.
Perfect. Thank you, Tom. Our judges in the background agree. Well done. All right. For 8 points, this romantic poet who wrote "The World Is Too Much With Us" had a perfect last name for his profession. This romantic poet who wrote "The World Is Too Much With Us" had a perfect last name for his profession. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth. And our last one here. This 3-named American 19th century poet wrote, quote, "Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been." This 3-named American 19th century poet wrote, "Of all sad words of tongue or pen, the saddest are these, it might have been." 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. John Greenleaf Whittier. John Greenleaf Whittier, everyone's favorite American poet. All right, math words. Math words. 56-48. Quarantined up by 8 currently. Math words. Scheme up this figure with a polygon for a base and triangles with a common vertex for faces. Scheme up this figure with a polygon for a base and triangles with a common vertex for faces. 5, 4. Mo.
Pyramid.
Pyramid is correct for 2 points. All right. Math words. It's a closed oval shaped curve. It's a closed oval shaped curve. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. An ellipse. An ellipse. Two angles that share this for 6 points. Two angles that share a vertex and a side are this, like neighboring lots. Two angles that share a vertex and a side are this, like neighboring lots. 5, 4, 3. Mo.
Adjacent.
That is correct for 6 points. We are tied 56 to 56. A multiplicative inverse. A multiplicative inverse. multiplicative. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. A reciprocal. A reciprocal. So up till now, everything has been single words. I will say this is a two-word answer. Two-word answer. Two numbers whose position is important. So XY is different than YX. Two numbers whose position is important. So XY is different than YX. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. An ordered pair. An ordered pair. Now you want pub trivia, right? After that? Come on. Come on. All right, here we go. Let's see here. What? Sorry, give me 1 second. My computer just moved. There we go. Okay. Everything disappeared for a second. All right, here we go. So 2 categories, pub trivia, 6 points each. Again, first 5 you can answer 2, second 5 you can answer 2. It is 56 to 56. So clean slate, overtime. Here we go. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, what politician was first to refer to a late night flight as a red eye? According to the Oxford English Dictionary, what politician was the first to refer to a late night flight as a red eye? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Barry Goldwater. Barry Goldwater. You can also hear the plumbing in my house right now, which is fantastic, but that's fine. It's working at least. Okay. Voiced by Candice Bergen. What is the name of HAL 9000 sibling computer featured in movie 2010? Voiced by Candice Bergen. What is the name of HAL 9000 sibling computer featured in the movie 2010? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is SAL 9000. SAL 9000. Decades before WikiLeaks, the leaked Pentagon Papers were classified documents about what U.S. event? Decades before WikiLeaks, the leaked Pentagon Papers were classified documents about what U.S. event? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The Vietnam War. The Vietnam War. The Pentagon Papers. In 2011, Oprah Winfrey made a final tear-filled bow on her talk show after 25 years. How many episodes did she host? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 4,561. 4,561. I actually knew that from reading an article about Oprah. This is the only answer I've known out of all of these thus far. All right. Known to Big Bird as just Snuffy, Sesame Street's Mr. Snuffleupagus has what rarely used first name? Mike.
Aloysius.
That is correct for 6 points. Well done. Okay. This is the last one of our first round. 5 more to come. 62 to 56. In the Godfather film series, what was Kay's maiden name before becoming Mrs. Michael Corleone? In the Godfather film series, what was Kay's maiden name before becoming Mrs. Michael Corleone? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adams. Adams. All right, we move on to our final 5. Let's come over here. All right, here we go. Let me just move you guys over here and close chat so I can see you all. There we go. Okay. In what U.S. state is a city named Kokomo? In what U.S. state, Russell?
Indiana.
That is correct for 6 points. We're tied back up 62 to 62. In a memorable scene from Ocean's 11, Brad Pitt's character gives a poker lesson to all but, oh, sorry, strike that one. It's a multiple choice. Can't do that one. Pardon. Strike it. In 1929, the rights to what fictional character were donated to a London children's hospital? In 1929, the rights to what fictional character were donated to a London children's hospital? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Peter Pan. Peter Pan was donated to a London children's hospital. All right. Sorry, have to move things around again. There you guys are. Okay. Which crooner from Long Island had 22 fights as a welterweight under his belt before going into music? Which crooner from Long Island had 22 fights as a welterweight under his belt before going into music? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Billy Joel. Billy Joel. What president allowed his daughter to use the White House for her high school senior prom? What president allowed his daughter to use the White House for her high school senior prom? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gerald Ford. Gerald Ford allowed for it. So this is our final question. Obviously, we'll keep going because eventually this has to end. I may go by regular season football rules that we can end in a tie if it keeps going beyond reasonable facsimile. We don't have a rule that the other team needs to get a chance. So you have to buzz in if you think you know it. Because they're written in common meter, most Emily Dickinson poems can easily be sung to what TV theme song? Because they're written in common meter, Emily Dickinson poems can easily be sung to what TV theme song? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gilligan's Island. Gilligan's Island. All right, now to find new questions for you all. All right, let's go to this one.
Just to clarify, are we doing an entire set or a sudden death?
I would say I'll vote. Do you want to do 5 more? Let's do 5 more. So then we'll do sudden death after that. So overtime rules, 5 more, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Let's see here. Where did that question just go?
Wait, and sorry, Dan, these are going to be pub trivia.
This is still, well, you know what? I'm up for anything. Pub trivia or Jeopardy. We don't have overtime rules. This is we're making this up on the fly. So let's do pub trivia for now. We will circle back to something different. There it is. All right. So 5 questions, 6 points apiece. Again, if you answer 2, you're out. We'll keep that as the rules from here. Good luck. For a climactic scene in the film Suspicion, Alfred Hitchcock famously hid an illuminated light bulb inside a what? For a climactic scene in the film Suspicion, Alfred Hitchcock famously hid an illuminated light bulb inside a what? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inside a glass of milk. Inside a glass of milk. All right, let's go to this one. In the Oscar-winning film, The English Patient, what object does Laszlo give Catherine as a symbol of their illicit love? In the Oscar-winning film, The English Patient, what object does Laszlo give Catherine as a symbol of their illicit love? 5, 4, lots of head shakes. 3, 2, 1. A thimble. 3 more to go. According to the Academy, what actor was the first to receive a posthumous Oscar nomination? According to the Academy, what actor was the first to receive a posthumous Oscar nomination? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. James Dean. James Dean was the first to receive a posthumous Oscar nomination. This is my rifle. There are so many like it, but this one is mine is a famous line from what Oscar nominated Mike?
Full Metal Jacket.
That is correct. Last question, 68 to 62. Let me scroll over here.
To buzz in.
Okay, final question. Ronald Reagan's plain-spoken and affable demeanor earned him the apt nickname the Great what? Ronald Rochelle.
Communicator?
That is correct. We are all tied up at 68. Oh, time for the shootout. Nominate someone from each. No, I'm kidding. I will come up with something. We'll do 3 questions. We're doing three questions. And I'm going to say you can buzz in for each of them. No 2-question answer limit at this point. You're all wonderful. I love you all. All right. Here we go. Robert Kardashian, the biological father of Courtney, Kim, Chloe, and Robert Jr., was a well-known what? Lee.
Attorney.
Attorney is correct. 74 to 68. Back to, let's go. Roz Doyle, a producer on the 90s sitcom Wings, was the namesake of a character on what other sitcom? Roz Doyle, a producer on the 1960s sitcom Wings, was the namesake for a character on what other sitcom? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Frasier. Frasier. Final one, 74-68. Said to be invented by British officers in India in the 1800s, snooker is a form of what game? Mike.
Billiards?
That's correct. 74 to 74. All right. It comes down to this. I'm going to find one question. Let's see. All right. Here it is. Sean Parker, the founding president of Facebook, also helped create what early... Sam.
Napster.
Napster is correct for the win. 80 to 74. Final score. Double overtime. Well played. There's our score. This is your first of 4 regular season matches. I will circle back with the Cabal about overtime rules moving forward, but I think we have a fair set to go off of this one. Thank you for participating. Thanks for playing. You'll have 3 more matches. Total points, point differential does matter, so we'll keep track of that as well. And let us know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns as we move forward.
Good game.
Good job, everybody.
Good seeing you.
Game.